Welcome back, Truth Seeker. Tuesday, March 5th, 2019. Yeah, Playboy's in the chat, I see. Adam's here, Salim's here, Nick's here. It was an okay day yesterday. Two of our strong reads didn't hit. Otherwise, it could have been a great day. Two of those seemed all but destined. So anyway, let's do a little review and then get to today's games. So yesterday, the initial thought was the Nets pick up the 19th win on the 19-date numerology. Somebody did make a good observation. They said, well, if the Nets coach loses, he gets his 150th all-time loss, and Dallas Mavericks equals 150. And like I said, it's amazing how often the coach line alignments will be perfect like that, and then they won't hit. And I made the point several times. If you lead with the coaches, you're going to disappoint yourself a lot. And I've learned that the hard way. This last NFL season, I probably kicked myself 50 times from coming off my pick because of some great alignment I saw with the coach. And in college basketball, in March Madness, coach records definitely seem to matter. It's probably the one place where coach records matter a lot. Sometimes you'll see a really amazing alignment with a coach, and then it matters. Pete Carroll last year, I think he was going for his 87th win in the regular season or 87th home win, something like that, 87 days after his birthday. And when you write out Seahawks, it's 87. And when you write out 12, it's 87, like the 12th man in Seattle. And like that just seemed, okay, well, he's got to get that. I mean, that's just too much 87. That's the team, his birthday. It's there on the board. So sometimes you see a coaching alignment and it's the right riddle. But when you're faced with a read like a date numerology, which is typically where it's at, even though in the NBA it hasn't been the greatest lately, versus a coach record, you got to go with the date numerology. You got to go with the season record. Nets won. They got the 19th home win on the 19 date. Okay, the Heat Hawks, close game, but like I was saying, Miami Heat 43, we know that number plays for them. It seemed like the 43rd loss was destined for the Hawks. They got it. This game was on March 4th. The date that can be written 4/3 or 3/4. The Heat stayed at 34 losses, Heat 34. The Hawks picked up their 43rd loss. 43 is the 14th prime. Heat got the 14th win. So that was there. Now, in the Spurs-Nuggets game, same person made a great observation about the coach of the Nuggets. And that observation was right. But what I'll say is, we've also pointed out that when a team's win and loss record, when the gematria can be exactly what the opponent is, like how Spurs equals 42 and 21, that's always a really good indicator. So, yeah, the coach's record was perfect here. Again, in case you missed yesterday's Decode, the coach of the Nuggets, he got his 148th loss with the Nuggets. San Antonio equals 148. And he got his 215th all-time loss, San Antonio Spurs 215. So that was really perfect. But just using what we already know about records and team gematria, when you get that double alignment, it's pretty close to an absolute lock. So just remember, it's all scripted together. It's all planned out. So, I mean, that's the reason you'll get these multiple alignments. But again, when you lead with the coaching record, you'll probably disappoint yourself more often than not. And I'm speaking from experience there. Okay, the Bucks and Suns. The Suns got that 14th win on the date that can be written 4/3, kind of like 43, the 14th prime. And I hummed and hawed about that. And that also made them 9 and 23 at home. It gave them that prime number relationship. The Suns all of a sudden are a hot team. They're beating a lot of people. And I saw that in the series record. If the Bucks won, they would have been 71 and 71 against each other all time. I knew that number was symbolic to the Bucks because they won the championship in 71. So I was thinking that that's probably how it would be. But I said I'd probably just stay away from that game because the Suns are like a wild card team right now, and the Bucks aren't a great payout. And to me, there wasn't enough riddle on the board to predict the Suns upset. I wasn't sure how well that 14-43 thing would play. But lo and behold, it happened. All right, now the Pelicans and the Jazz. I'm really hating the Jazz. I'm adding the Jazz to a team that I really hate. It seems like whatever lines up for the Jazz, just pick the opposite. That's the way it seems with the Jazz. They could have got their 22nd home win yesterday. Utah equals 22 against the New Orleans team where the Jazz are originally from. Again, New Orleans Pelicans is 79. Pelicans is 79. It's the 22nd prime. Great team to get the 22nd home win against. We did observe that they play again on March 6th, 3-6, and the Jazz can get their 36th series win. And, you know, the thing is, we've seen so many times now this season where we've said, oh, I'm going to hold off and pick them to win that next game because then they can get that number on that date, and then they've won in the game before. So, you know, the Jazz, I'm just recognizing a real pattern with the Jazz. When the Jazz line up to lose, they win. When they look good to win, they lose. I'm really hating the Jazz games. Something up with this team. The Knicks did cover against the Kings last night. What was it? The potential riddle for the Knicks and Kings was that the Kings could have stayed at 19 home wins and the Knicks could have got their 8th away win. It was 19 date numerology. 19 is the 8th prime. That didn't come out, but the Knicks did cover the spread. They were, I believe, an 11-point underdog. So if you took that, you should have got the W. And the Clippers-Lakers game, that 37, I made the point a million times. The 37 was really standing out. It's the Battle of Los Angeles. Los Angeles equals 37. We see that number a lot with LA. It was big in the Super Bowl that just happened. The problem was either team could have got the 19 in the away and home records. The Clippers did get it. And the Lakers also picked up that 34th loss on 3-4. So not surprised about that outcome. It was a little bit risky just because the Lakers could have got the 19th home win. But like I pointed out, the Lakers could also get the 14th loss. LA equals 13 and 14. So more things lined up with a Clippers win. So okay day in the NBA. Just remember these the Jazz, man. I think they're a team to just stay clear of. Their things are making me mad. You know, here's something I will say though that I'm looking at now. The Pelicans stayed at 36 losses and the Jazz stayed at 36 wins on the 63rd day of the year, and Jazz is also 63, and that could have been part of the riddle. But just that 22nd home win to me was making the sense. All right, college basketball. We got 2 out of 3 right here, but the one that I liked the most did not go. So Virginia won. Again, Virginia's head coach's next loss is his 89th, and Virginia equals 89. College basketball coaches are important, and certain numbers in coaches' records are definitely important when it corresponds with the team. The reason we're talking about Virginia coach's next loss being 89 is because Virginia's 89. I'm really thinking that's going to come in the tournament. So I won't be surprised. Well, we'll have to pay attention. I'm not sure if they play Virginia Tech or something like that before. We'll look at that game. But when he gets that 89th loss, it's going to be symbolic. And my thought right now is that it probably will come in the tournament. So Virginia wins over Syracuse. Syracuse stays at 19 wins on the 19 date. Texas Tech Red Raiders equals 89. They made Texas 8-9 in the Big 12. And this is the game that disappointed me. TCU equals 19 and 8. We had the 19 date numerology. 19 is the 8th prime. TCU could have got the 19th win, given Kansas State the 8th loss. But it wasn't so. And whoops. Yeah, that game's just a surprise to me. And it happens. I mean, in this study, we're going to get the majority of games wrong. You know, the trolls troll here all day because, you know, my work hasn't been the best this year. It's but it hasn't been bad. We're still getting the majority of games right, but the trolls are here ragging all day. Picks are so terrible. I mean, that's just complete BS. We're still getting the majority of games right each day. anytime you lead with this knowledge, you're always going to get the majority of games right. You might have a really bad day here and there. Last week we had a really bad day. We also had a really awesome day that was way better than well, our really bad day was what? Like right at 50-50. Our really awesome day was, you know, what, at 85-90% picks correct. So anyway, the point is, if you lead with this knowledge, you're still going to win the majority of times. Sometimes you're going to be really surprised. And I think a lot of us are probably really surprised with the TCU game yesterday, but that's just the way it is. And I imagine when these outcomes happen, it's because there's some greater riddle set up down the road that we're not seeing yet. But you just got to live with these kind of losses. And that's also why I always encourage to bet conservative and just be consistent and continue to just build your earnings and be the tortoise. Because what I do worry is that sometimes when you see these really awesome alignments, which the TCU game pretty much was, you'll bet super heavy on that game, and then you lose on that one, but you win on the other ones, and then you don't have the greatest day. So to me, it's just about like find the games you like, bet conservative, bet smart, put some smart parlays together, and just keep building your earnings day after day. I know Playboy the other week bet 10,000 on the Flyers game, and he probably had a heart attack. He won, but oh my God, just barely. And again, the reason he bet so much is because we like that game so much. We followed that riddle perfectly all week. We got all the Flyers games right. It was all about them winning on that day. But man, oh man, did they make it a down to the wire. So yesterday in the NHL, 2 more games, Oilers and Sabres. The Sabres could have got their 70th points, and I like that because Edmonton Oilers equaled 70. Somebody left a comment about how number 63 from the Oilers had I think it was for the Oilers game. Number 60, maybe it was in the Maple Leafs game. I guess number 63 in one of these games had a big game. But, man, that pattern's been so good with teams picking up the points against opponent like that. 70 points, Edmonton Oilers. So that didn't hit. This was my second biggest surprise of the day. But we did like the Maple Leafs to beat Calgary, get that 41st win. Calgary 41, both teams at 41 wins. So at least we net out there in the NHL. But I really thought we were going to bring it home with both these NHL games. So still definitely more winners than losers yesterday. But, man, if TCU and this would have hit, it would have been a very good day. But nothing we can do about it now. Just a reminder. Sometimes there's a great alignment and it still doesn't hit. So that said, let's get into today's games. We got some NBA action, some NHL, little college basketball. The date numerology. We'll start here. It's March 5th, 2019. And something to think about. March 5th can be written 5/3 or 3/5, kind of like 53 and 35. In light of watching how the 4/3, 43, and 14 kind of worked out in yesterday's some games, maybe because 53 is the 16th prime, keep an eye on 16s today. Something to think about. We have a dead former WrestleMania star today. He died yesterday, but the news is today. Died a span of 35 days from WrestleMania 35. So I'm just thinking about 35 in the sports world in light of seeing that news this morning. But the date numerology. Well, okay. It's the 141st day of the NBA season. When you do write out 33, it sums to 141. So 33 could be a little more important today in the NBA. 154th day of the NHL season. There was a death of a 93-year-old hockey player yesterday who played for the Red Wings and Blackhawks. Remember, Stanley equals 93. I can't find anywhere the date online where the Stanley Cup begins this year. I was trying to find that. I couldn't find it. Those dates used to always be up, the start dates. At the beginning of this NBA season, they had the start date up for the NBA Finals, and now you can't find it anywhere. But I recorded it at the beginning of the season as May 30th, what they originally had up. And I think that this is the result of us doing this work. I think this shows that, we definitely have their attention. So anyway, March 5th, 2019, today's date, 47 numerology. That's the 15th prime. The only thing that's going to be annoying about that is that if we have games where there's like a 15 to 16 transition, just the fact that because it's March 5th, 5-3, kind of like 53 to 16 prime, it could make things a little more questionable there. But again, I'm still thinking the date numerology is probably more important. March 5th, 2019 are two methods that really matter. 4720, big numbers today. Lesser method, 27. It's the 5th. Maybe we pay attention if teams are going for a streak of 5 wins. 15 could also matter for, you know what? 15 might really matter today because 15 is the 5th triangular number. That means if you add 1 through 5 together, it's 15. So we got the 47 date, the 15th prime, and it's the 5th. 15 might be a big one today. It's also the 64th day of the year, leaving 301 days remaining. So that said, let's get into the games. I see right away, ooh, this one looks too good. This one looks too good. The Bulls, I will be surprised if the Bulls don't lose today. 47 date numerology, and who are they playing? Indiana, 47. So I like that. We got a date and a Gematria connection. That's always a strong connection. Let's see. Just seeing anything else that's here. Bulls, Pacers, head-to-head. 188th game. Bulls going for 98. Pacers going for 91. Yeah, I'm not going to overthink it there. You got the Gematria and the date. That's close to as good as you get. And there's no numbers here that are supportive of the Bulls. Okay. Magic and 76ers. The Magic have been a real dicey team. The 20's on the board. We do have a 20-date numerology. They can get their 20th away loss. The 20th away loss stands out. That's for sure. Okay. The only thing I see for the 76ers is Magic does equal 24. They could get their 24th loss against the Magic. If the Magic did win, they'd stay at 35 losses on 3-5. The 76ers would also stay at 24 home wins. Let's see here. Dakota says June 1st, 2019, last possible day for Stan. Do you mean that's the day, what would be game 7? If that's true, then we can probably figure out what day the start date is. All right. Orlando, Philadelphia. This will be the 114th game. 76ers going for the 38th win. Magic going for the 77th. Notice the over-under right at 223 like Philadelphia. Yeah, I think I'm just going to say I do not like this game. The date numerology is there for the Magic to lose. But them staying at 24 home wins and getting their 24th loss is very possible with Magic being 24. And I'm tempted to look at the conference standings to try to get a better read, but that really hasn't been helpful. It's just we've been able to pick games most successfully when we see it in the immediate season record on this screen, when we see the connection there. And then anytime that we got these, iffy, oh, it could go that way or that way, it's always dangerous. So. All right, Rockets, Raptors. Let's see. So the Raptors are on their 46. We know Raptors is 46. They can get their 28th home win. Rockets does equal 28. Hold on. Before I go to this Rockets-Raptors game, I just want to come back and look at one more thing with the Magic and 76ers. Hold on. Okay, one more time on the 84th day of the year. No. Okay. All right. Rockets, Raptors. So the first thing that stands out is Rockets is 28. Raptors can get that 28th home win. "47th game. The Raptors have 20 wins in the series. So that's the scare there. They could stay at 20 wins on the 20 date numerology. The lesser date numerology is 27. Houston could get the 27th win. And this is where we've seen this one playing. It does seem to show up somewhat in these series records. So now we have a riddle for Houston as well. Raptors, 35. Toronto Raptors is 71, the 20th prime. They're already at 20. If the Raptors win, they do get their 47th win on the 47 date and their 28th win over the Rockets. I do prefer to go with the immediate season record over the series record. I don't see anything for the immediate season. This game is on TNT, the 18 network. The Raptors would stay at 18 losses as well. Houston Rockets. I do think the Raptors have the better narrative here. 47th win on the 47 date, 28th home win over the Rockets, who equal 28. There's nothing that lines up so much in the Rockets' current season record. The only concern is just with the series, that the Raptors could stay on 20 on the 20-date numerology. The Rockets could get their 27th. We have the 27 lesser date numerology. But the immediate season record is a better indicator. And the Raptors do have the right numbers. The date numerology is there and the opponent's there. All right. Trailblazers, Grizzlies. We've seen the number 25 be very attached to the Grizzlies, and I just see that the Blazers could get their 25th loss. Again, that's because Memphis Grizzlies is 97, the 25th prime. We've seen a number of 25 riddles with the Grizzlies this year. So that is on the board, the potential 25th loss for the Blazers. That would also keep them at 15 away wins. The Grizzlies have that problem, though, too, don't they? They could stay at 15 home wins. Because, again, we talked about the significance of 15 today. see what it is between these teams. '88th game. Grizzlies going for 39th win. Blazers going for 50th. Okay, that doesn't go with our date. Memphis. Memphis, Tennessee. Trailblazers does have that connection to 53, the 16th prime. The only problem there is a 16 could go either way too. Because again, we got the 5-3 date, kind of like 53, the 16th prime, but Blazers could get the 16th away win. Grizzlies could get the 16th home win. So Grizzlies won against Portland earlier this year. Notice the 83. Interesting that both times there was a 92 in the game. These teams play again. One more game this year. They play again on the 93rd day of the year. Yeah, I got to rank that one as dangerous, but just how many teams we've seen pick up a 25 against the Grizzlies, you know, it just makes me think, I've seen this pattern too many times this year. Can the Blazers escape that fate? I don't know what yeah. I favor the Grizzlies to win just because of how many teams I've seen pick up the 25 against the Grizzlies. But again, the 16 could go either way. And yeah, it's a little dangerous. It's a little dangerous. The 16 is what makes it dangerous. All right, Thunder Timberwolves. So the Timberwolves, their loss could look like the date, 3-5. They could stay at 20 home wins on the 20-date numerology. The Thunder could stay at 15 losses. Remember, we got the powerful connection to 15. 47, the 15th prime. It's the 5th, 15, the 5th triangular. So the numbers seem to line up good for a Thunder win here. 35th loss on 3-5, staying at 20, staying at 15. Let's see. Timberwolves have 35 wins in the series, too. Oklahoma City Thunder going for 82. There's another number out there I'm not thinking of. Timberwolves 71, the 20th prime. Minnesota Timberwolves. City. There. So that's the only argument I could make, and it's not a strong one. Just Thunder have the double connection to 36. Minnesota's next win in the series is their 36th, but that doesn't connect to today's date, and that could come at any point. So just looking at today's date, the numbers, Thunder got the advantages. Staying at 15, Timberwolves staying at 20, and then just that 35th loss on 3-5 has some rhyme and reason to it. So. Scanning over something real quick. There's only one thing that the thing that probably worries me the most about the Thunder game is just this is their 33rd away game, and they could get the 16th loss. There is a relationship with 16 and 33. We just talked about this, but the date, today's date, seems very favorable in terms of the Thunder numbers. Thunder seem to have the better numbers here. Is there not a connection to yeah. Okay, Celtics Warriors. The Warriors could get their 20th loss today. That would also make them 23-9 at home. That's that prime number relationship. That would give the Celtics their 15th away win. Strong number today. 15, a strong one. Golden State, a big favorite, huh? Let's see here. All right, so Celtics are, what is that, plus 65 in the series. Should be the second and final game. They played January 26th, so they played 38 days ago. Boston. Oh, yeah, this was the one where it was synced up with Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant had the nice alignment for this game. That's how we ended up deciding on the Warriors in that one. I remember that. I think it was exactly 17 weeks after Kevin Durant's birthday, and they got like their 17th away win. Let me go back and check that. Kevin Durant's birthday is September 29th, and the game was January 26, 2019. 17 weeks. I remember that. And the Warriors got the 17th away win. So maybe it's synced up here with Kevin Durant again. All right, let's see. 157 days after his birthday. That's the 37th prime. There 37 on the board? No. We're 9 days from Steph Curry's birthday. What's interesting about that is when you add 1 through 9, it's 45. The Warriors could get their 45th win. This is just like TNT equals 54, like Oracle. Once upon a time, the Celtics snapped the 54-game winning streak, the record winning streak of the Warriors at Oracle. Who else could we think of? Klay Thompson. – 15 and 16. Who's the Warriors' next game against? Let's see here. Warriors play the Nuggets next. On March 8th. Does that help? Wait. Yeah, I think I favor the Celtics here. I'd take the Celtics to cover just because, again, Warriors can get the 20th loss on the 20-day. Celtics can get that 15th win. Today's date has multiple connections to 15. And if the Warriors lose, that does put them at 23-9. We see those prime number relationships so often. So the best riddle to me for the Warriors is just that in Steph Curry's birthday is in 9 days and 45 is the 9th triangular number. But the Celtics riddle seems better. So, okay. I think the best pick in the NBA today is the Pacers. 47 date numerology, Indiana equals 47. Bulls get the 47th loss. That seems to be the cleanest read of the day. Magic 76ers is dangerous because the Magic can get the 20th loss, but Magic equals 24. The 76ers can get their 24th loss and stay at 24 home wins. So it makes that one risky. Rockets have a riddle that's favorable in the series record. Raptors have a nice riddle on the surface. 47 date numerology, they get the 47th win. And Rockets equals 28. They can get their 28th home win over the Rockets. So I got to give the edge to the Raptors there. Trailblazers, Grizzlies. The one thing is we've seen a lot of teams pick up a 25, whether it be a win or a loss against the Grizzlies, because Memphis Grizzlies is 97, the 25th prime. There's nothing really. Today's date, March 5th, can be written 5/3 like 53. Trailblazers equals 53. It's the 16th prime. The Grizzlies could also get their 16th win against a fitting opponent. But at the same time, the Blazers could even up their record at 16 and 16 away. So that's the danger. But just based on how many 25s we've documented this year with the Grizzlies, thinking that Blazers probably do pick up that 25. By the way, aren't the Blazers on a decent road trip right now? So the Blazers have played how many road games? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7th road game in a row. How have they done on this road trip? 1, 2-0, 3-0, 4-0, 4-1, 5-1. So with a win, they'd be 6-1. With a loss, they'd be 5-2. The thing about them going 5-2 is this game's in Tennessee. Tennessee has that Gematria 34, but if you use the rule for S, Tennessee is 52. They could become 5-2 in the road trip in Tennessee and get that 25th loss. So I do favor the Grizzlies, but it's still just the fact that they could be 16-16. Trailblazers 53, the 16th prime, 16-16. They'd also be 6-1 on the road trip. I mean, there is a little riddle there for the Blazers. I think the better riddle's with the Grizzlies, though. One's dicey. Timberwolves, again, they can stay at 20 home wins on the 20 date. Thunder can stay at 15 losses on the date that has multiple connections to 15. If the Timberwolves did lose, they'd become 3. They'd get their 35th loss on March 5th, a date that can be written 3-5. So I do think the better riddle there is for the Thunder in that game. And Celtics Warriors. Again, we have the 20-date numerology. Warriors can get number 20. Celtics can get the 15th win on the date with the 15 connections. And that would make the Warriors 23-9 at home, that prime number relationship. So I think if you just want one safe pick today, take those Pacers over the Bulls. You got the date numerology and the location. Again, Indiana 47, 47 date numerology. So. All right, let's do college basketball. College basketball. Wake Forest at Duke. There's nothing screaming out about the date numerology, but Duke does equal 41, the 13th prime. Good team to get the 13th loss against in the ACC. Duke's also 14. Duke would get their 14th win, give them their 13th loss. 26-point favorite. I'm not going to put a lot of thought in there. Michigan State, big favorite. The 15's right there. And that keeps Nebraska at 15, makes Nebraska in 15-15. Again, date numerology is really good in college basketball. Burned us yesterday with TCU, but I mean, it's okay. More often than not, it's hitting by a big margin. So Michigan State looking good there. 15th win, make them 15-15. We can just check here to see if there's any surprises. 24th game, Michigan going for number 17. Yeah, there's nothing in the series record. Michigan State should get it done. 15, I expect, will be a good number today. Virginia Tech, Florida State. Okay. Both teams got the prime number relationship in their ACC record, 11, the 5th prime. All right, we're going to have to look here. These records are tight. "56th game. Virginia Tech going for 23. Florida State has 33. So they're going for their 23rd win and their 23rd win of the season, and Florida State's at 23. The thing is, there's no connection to 23 in today's date. Right, let's see here. We need some gematria. Virginia Tech, that doesn't fit in. Hokies, that's how they spell it, right? Yeah. Hokies. don't see it there. Florida State Seminoles. 241, the 53rd prime, kind of like today's date, but there wasn't any 16s on the board, was there? The only thing I can say about Virginia Tech is that they are the 15 seed. This day has the heavy 15 connection. I don't know if that, I don't have a history of paying attention to if the seed number helps out on a day like today. Donald L. Tucker Center, 79, the 22nd prime. They could stay at 22 wins. I know they call this place the Tucker Center too, 53, the 16th prime. Tallahassee. Tallahassee. Well, there's no strong indicators in the records. '96 and '66. Where did I just see a 67? Where? Oh, Hokies is 67. So the Virginia Tech coach, his next loss is his 67th, and Hokies is 67. So that has symbolism with the team that he's facing. Let's see who they play next. Play the Hurricanes next. Check the Florida State coach. His next wins is 351st, the 26th triangular. Next loss is 215. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think there's a good read there for this game. So Virginia Tech 125, that is a good point. And yeah, if they did fall to 22-7, we are very used to seeing that pattern. Not always, but it happens a lot. Typically, when you're faced with this scenario where either team can have the matching record, it's like the team who beats the other team like inherits that record. So if Florida State beat Virginia Tech, they would become 12-5 by defeating them. But again, it's not always. So I just worry about Virginia Tech being the 15 seed and playing on this date with the double 15 connection. I think it's probably better to stay away from that game. If you're the kind of guy that just has to put $1 down on every game, I'd probably favor the home team in a close game. And then you would get that familiar number 22-7, and you would get Florida State inheriting the 12-5 record by beating them. But really, I think there's just better games in the future to weight on. So let's see if we can find something else there. Buffalo, big favorite against Ohio. So we have two 15s on the board. Buffalo can get the 15th win, or Ohio could stay at 15. Bulls, they're the Buffalo Bulls. Bulls equals 12, so it makes sense for them to get the 12th loss against the Bulls. Let's see. 44th game. Buffalo going for its 15th series win, too, for another 15. So get the 15th win. Ohio does equal 16 in Gematria. They can get their 16th loss in Ohio. So, yeah, got to favor Buffalo there. Not a great payout, 12-point favorite. But they definitely got the better riddle. Bulls, 12, 12th loss, 15 there, 15 here. North Carolina, Boston College. Well, the 15 can go either way for Boston College. It can go one way for North Carolina. North Carolina can get that 15. Carolina also sums to 37, the 12th prime. The word Carolina, I know it matters for North Carolina. That Carolina blue. So they can get their 12th loss against Carolina. Let's see. We'll check, see what the series record is. '23rd game, going for win number 18. What's Boston College? The Eagles? Yeah. Yeah, I'm just following that 15 pattern. 15 is going to be a big one. All right, Purdue, Minnesota. So Minnesota's got a hope here. Purdue could stay at 15 wins in the conference. Let's see. Purdue, Minnesota, right? So we're looking at 126th game. Purdue going for win number 73. Minnesota could stay at 53 on this date. State that looks like 53, March 5th, 5-3. Purdue. Purdue equals 31. That's the 11th prime. Minnesota could get their 11th loss. However, they could also stay at 11 overall losses. Boilermakers. Boilermakers is 79, the 22nd prime. They're at 22 wins. What's Minnesota? The Golden Gophers? Is that their name? Golden Gophers. Golden Gophers is 53. Again, they're at 53 wins. Do they stay there on this date? Golden Gophers 53, which is the 16th prime number. So it actually would be a good team to get the 16th win over. Golden Gophers 53, the 16th prime, get that 16th win. You know what else I'm realizing? That would make them 16-3, which is a bit like 163, the 38th prime, and Minnesota's 38. So I'm starting to, yeah, the riddle's starting to look pretty good here for Purdue. And again, Purdue's 31, the 11th prime. They could get the 11th Big Ten loss. The hope is they'd stay at 11. Well, for Minnesota at least. Golden Gophers. Double check one more time. Ooh. Yeah, I think Purdue's got the better riddle. Perfect team to get the 16th win against, and then the 16-3, 163, the 38th prime. That's the better riddle, if you ask me. Mississippi State, Tennessee. Chigozie's looking at the Thelema thing. That's interesting. I don't know if that applies to sports. I haven't paid attention to that, but it is a thought. It is a thought. Okay, so Tennessee, I see Tennessee's got the opportunity for the Magic 15. I think that's definitely going to be the number of the day. And the only reason I don't think Purdue stays on it here again is just because this is the right team to get the 16th win against. And then again, that would keep Minnesota at 53 series wins on this day. But Tennessee, that 15 is right there, screaming out. We do have the lesser date numerology at 27 too. Not as important, but then they'd have double connection to the date numerology with the win. Tennessee's also 47, the 15th prime. So great day to get the 15th win in Tennessee. College basketball is looking good today. It's a good college basketball day. It's not in, the results aren't in yet, but it's looking good. Mississippi State. Where's Tennessee? 103rd game, that's the 27th prime. So, okay, 103rd game, the 27th prime. We got Tennessee going for the 27th win. So, one more reason to believe in that Tennessee narrative. The only thing that I could say goes against Tennessee is they have 64 series wins. We are on the 64th day of the year. But this date numerology alignment is too good to overlook. Mississippi State Bulldogs. Let's just run the Gematria real quick. Mississippi State Bulldogs, 98. How about becoming 9-8 in the SEC? That's looking good. Tennessee Volunteers. Tennessee Volunteers is also 103. 103rd series game. So, yeah, Tennessee looks good. Kentucky Ole Miss. Okay, Ole Miss can get the 20th win. That would be the upset right there. 20-date numerology. Kentucky could also stay at 5 losses on the 5th. If they won, they'd be 25-5. 25 has a square root of 5. Let's see here. Kentucky's 43, the 14th prime, but this game's not in Kentucky. Let's see. Kentucky. Mississippi, 108th game. Kentucky going for win number 97. That's the 25th prime number. They could get their 97th series win and their 25th win of the season. 97, the 25th prime on the 5th. 25 has a square root of 5. Mississippi. Wow, God, that is some domination, isn't it? 96-11. That's amazing. 11's the 5th prime. Mississippi could stay at 11 wins on the 5th. Speaking of 11 being the 5th prime, they could also get their 11th loss. That's one more connection to 11 today. 11, the 5th prime. Kentucky is at 43. Kentucky Wildcats. They're at 96 wins right now. Wildcats. Let's see. What is Ole Miss? What's their name? Run it. What is it? Rebels. Yeah, it is Rebels. Ole Miss. Ole Miss is 43, the 14th prime. So good team to get the 14th conference win against. Kentucky and Ole Miss both 43. And also 97, the 25th prime. So yeah, things are actually looking good here for Kentucky. Ole Miss's prayer is to get that 20th win on the 20 date, but there's too many things lining up for Kentucky here in the numbers to think Ole Miss is going to get it done. Yeah, I got to go with Kentucky. They just got too many things lining up. Kansas, Oklahoma. Oklahoma equals 31. That's the 11th prime. The 11th can go either way because Kansas could stay at 11 wins. They could stay at 11 losses, or they could pick up the 11th conference loss. Kansas is also 11. Oklahoma's 31, the 11th prime. Kansas is 11. I don't see anything that gives me an edge just looking at the straight up records there. We'll check the series. Kansas, 14 on the board. Jayhawks. So Kansas Jayhawks is 37, the 12th prime. Now that could work out because Oklahoma could get the 12th loss, and that would give Kansas their 12th win in the series. Oklahoma. Out there. Sooners. Let's see what the series is here. $150th game. Kansas leads 106-43. So I think the best clue in this game is that Kansas Jayhawks equals 37. As we see how often 37 and 12 come together, again, the prime number relationships, the only way the 12 could go is Oklahoma's 12th loss. Because every other stat that we're looking at is tight. This is the Big 12 as well, huh? It's the Big 12. Let me just double check one more thing. You lost your wrench here. You got it back, buddy. Okay. Yeah, I got to give Kansas the edge. It's not the strongest read in the world, but it's the only thing that's there. 37-12, it hits a lot, and that's the only way it makes sense. Oklahoma with the 12th loss against Kansas, and it's the Big 12. So taking Kansas there. Nevada Air Force. Well, Air Force does have that magic 15. Could we have an upset here? All right, let's think about it. Be nice to get a big upset. Nevada. Nevada's 47, the 15th prime, too. They could stay on 15 losses with the big upset here. They're the Wolf Pack, right? Isn't that what they're called? The Wolf Pack. Nevada Wolf Pack, 53, the 16th prime. Ugh. Well, that hurts because they could get that 16th loss. 53, the 16th prime. Yeah, makes the upset less likely there. What's Air Force's nickname? Falcons. Air Force. Falcons. Notice Air Force Falcons is 89. If they lose, they're 8 and 9. So. Wait a minute. Yeah, them falling to 8 and 9 in the conference probably makes too much sense, huh? Because 53, the 16th prime, they can get their 16th loss against the Wolfpack. They'd get the 27th win on the lesser date numerology. Well, yeah. So the upset's probably not there. Hold on, let's take one more thing. Nevada can get their 11th win today in the series, 2 on the 5th, 11 the 5th prime. So that's one more thing in Nevada's corner. Air Force, their only hope staying at 15 losses. But again, because the team they're playing has the 53 connection, they probably go to 16. So running over college basketball again, I mean, I think Duke's 26-point favorite. Duke should get it done there. Again, Duke is 41, the 13th prime. Good team to get the 13th conference loss against. Michigan State can get that 15. 15 I expect to be a big number today. Make Nebraska 15 and 15. Virginia Tech, Florida State. This is a really tight game. There's nothing super strong to go off of. Virginia Tech does equal 125. If Florida State beats Virginia Tech, they'll be 12 and 5. So I'd favor Florida State, but just Virginia Tech being the 15 seed on this Super 15 date with the double connection to 15, it just makes me worry a little bit. Might be safer just to avoid that game. It's not a real strong read. But again, Virginia Tech, 125. Florida State could become 12 and 5 by beating them. The only problem is Virginia Tech could also become 12 and 5 with a win. Buffalo, Ohio. Ohio's prayers to stay at 15 losses. But as we said, Buffalo, their name's the Bulls. The Bulls equals 12. They can get their 12th loss in the conference. Buffalo can also get their 15th win. 27 date numerology. So Buffalo probably gets it done there against Ohio. North Carolina, following that 15, they get their 15th win. Boston College, the 15 can go either way, but it only goes one way for North Carolina. Carolina also sums to 37, the 12th prime. Boston College can get their 12th loss in the ACC. Make North Carolina 25 and 5 on the 5th, the square root of 25-5. Purdue. They're playing the Golden Gophers. Golden Gophers equals 53, the 16th prime. Here we are on the date that can be written 5/3. So they can get that 16th win against an appropriate team. Plus, that would make them 16-3, like 163, the 38th prime. Minnesota equals 38. And Purdue also sums to 31, which is the 11th prime. Minnesota likely gets their 11th loss in the conference. Their only hope is to stay at 11 overall losses against Purdue. But these numbers right here seem to make a lot of sense with a win over the Minnesota Golden Gophers. Tennessee equals 47, the 15th prime, getting their 15th win in Tennessee, 27th on the lesser 27-date numerology. Mississippi State, is it Bulldogs? Whatever it is, whatever their team name sums to is 98. They'd be 9-8 in the SEC. Kentucky, Ole Miss. Ole Miss and Kentucky both sum to 43, the 14th prime. Kentucky can get the 14th win. And Ole Miss can pick up the 11th loss on the 5th, 11, the 5th prime. That'd make Kentucky 25-5 too. There was one other thing we looked at in that game, but just everything seemed to be pointing to Kentucky here. The only hope for Ole Miss was getting the 20th win on the 20 date, but there was just too many numbers that lined up with the record for Kentucky to think that that one date numerology is going to prevail. But do keep that in mind if you're betting on this game. I do like Kentucky here, but I mean, the one thing you want to think about is, well, the one risk for Ole Miss is that they could get their 20th win on the 20 date. But again, just too many numbers lining up for Kentucky to think that they won't beat Ole Miss, in my opinion. Kansas, Oklahoma. Oh, yeah. Kansas equals 11. Oklahoma equals a 31. That's the 11th prime. The 11s can go either way. But Kansas Jayhawks equals 37, which is the 12th prime number. And notice Oklahoma can get the 12th loss, also giving Kansas their 12th win in the Big 12. So that was the only stat out there that seemed to give us the edge in this game. I couldn't really find anything that made me want to favor Oklahoma. So perfect team to get the 12th win against, or excuse me, the 12th loss against in the Big 12. And Nevada Air Force, Wolfpack, which is Nevada's name, has the Gematria 53. Air Force can get the 16th loss. Air Force Cougars, or what are they? Air Force, what are they? Falcons equals 89. They can fall to 8-9 in the Mountain West Conference. So right team for the 16th loss. And was it that? What was the other thing? What was the other thing? There was something else there. Anyhow, there's the only hope for Air Force is to stay on 15 losses, but there's just too many things lining up to think they're probably not going to win. Okay, NHL. NHL. All right, we've got a full slate of games here in the NHL today. Again, for the NHL, this is the 154th day of the NHL season, just in case we see that number pop up. The date numerology that really matters is 47 and 20. 47 is the 15th prime. It's the 5th. 15 is the 5th triangular number. The numerology that might matter for the series records is 27. It's also the 64th day of the year. So I don't see numerology here. Let's see if we can get some gematria. Carolina Hurricanes. Let's check it out. Hurricanes. Carolina. I'm not missing something. Hurricanes is 154, huh? 154th day of the season. It's interesting. Carolina Hurricanes. Okay, I'm not seeing anything with the points or the record. Boston. Bruins is 79 with an overtime loss. The Hurricanes would be at 79 points. Boston Bruins. $203rd game. The Bruins or the Hurricanes are going for their 79th win. And the Bruins are going for their 109th. Huh. I don't see anything strong enough to write home about for that game. Let's keep on looking. Blue Jackets, Devils. Okay. Jersey's got the 47 thing. The Blue Jackets with a win would stay on 26 losses against the Devils. Devils is 26. Their next win is the 26. But you know what? Columbus equals 25. So if they didn't win, they'd stay at 25 wins against Columbus. And actually, now that I think about it, Columbus is 25, and the rule with S, it's also 34. So they could be 25 and 34 against Columbus. Blue Jackets. New Jersey Devils. Let's see. "37th game, 21-13. So it's 21-14. So that means that the Devils could get their 15th all-time win today. That makes things dangerous there. The Devils could get their 15th all-time win on this very 15 date. And again, we have two teams that have the 47 connection, 47 the 15th prime. Columbus is 47, and so is New Jersey. Yeah, that makes things dicey. The Devils have because 15 is a powerful number today. Like we keep saying, they can get that 15th series win. The record here seems to make a little bit more sense for the Blue Jackets, but man, just the fact the Devils can get that 15th win makes me shy on that one. Okay, Senators, Islanders. I know Islanders equals 38. So I'm just seeing that the Senators are coming in here. New York, of course, is 39. They could get their 39th loss, and the Islanders could get their 38th win at home. Let's see. Senators. Ottawa Senators. So again. Ottawa's 82. If the Islanders lost in overtime, they'd have 82 points. York. What seems to make the most sense on the surface is we know how big 39 is in New York, so it is a great team to get the 39th loss against. The Islanders can get the 38th win at home. Let's see what the head-to-head is here. '95th game. Ottawa has 53 wins right now. The Islanders have 30, going for their 31st. 25th in regulation, potentially. The only thing that worries me about this game is just that the Senators could get their 53rd points on the date that kind of looks like 5-3. But I'm thinking that 39th loss in New York's making more sense. That would also keep them at 53 series wins on 5-3. Anything I was missing there? Yeah, I got to favor the Islanders there, just knowing how big 39 is in New York. Best place in the whole league to get the 39th loss. Okay, Panthers, Penguins. Penguins, they could get the 35th win on 3-5. Let's see. See if we can get some points here. Florida. Panthers. Panthers. Penguins. Penguins. Don't see it there. '94th game. Florida at 38 wins. Florida and Panthers is 38. Penguins going for their 52nd all-time win. And Florida Panthers is 239, the 52nd prime, but no necessary reason for that to happen today. Yeah, I don't see any definitive read there in that game. Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing that stands out real big. All right, Jets Lightning. Okay. Tampa Bay's got the 47 connection. Tampa Bay. Lightning. And Jets. There's got to be something there. All right, let's see. '90th game. Winnipeg's going for their 40th win. The Lightning are going for there you go. The Lightning are going for their 47th win. The Lightning going for their 47th win on the 47 date in Tampa Bay, 47. $30 in regulation, 16 in overtime. So that makes sense. 47th win, 47 date, Tampa Bay 47. Problem is that game's not the greatest payout, but it's a pretty good riddle. Predators, Wild. So Minnesota does equal 38. I think we just saw the Predators get their 38th win against Minnesota. That was one of our one-way reads the other day. Yeah. Predators just got their 38th win against Minnesota. Okay. They're at 25 losses. This game's in Nashville. Nashville is 39. They get their 39th win and stay at 25 losses on the 5th. Just thinking about the date. 25 the square root of 5. All right. Minnesota. Wild. Wild. Nashville Predators. That would also give them their 83rd points at home. Nashville Predators is 83, plus their 39th win of the season. Nashville 39. The only concern is they could stay on 38 wins against Minnesota. Let's see what the head-to-head is here. Minnesota versus Nashville. 74th game. Minnesota has 33 wins. The 74th game, we know how 33 and 74 go together, huh? So they could stay at 33 wins in the 74th game. And Nashville has 35. Well, that's interesting because today's 3-5. Going for 36. The way 74 and 33 get paired together so often, that gives me more reason to believe that Minnesota stays at 33. But then again, I guess to play devil's advocate, they could get their 33rd win of the season in the 74th series. It is the 74th, right? Yeah, 74th. Staying at 71 points also makes sense, though. 71, the 20th prime, 20 date numerology. So I do like the Predators here. The staying at 33 series wins in the 74th game, that makes sense. 39th win in Nashville makes sense. 25 regulation losses on the 5th makes sense. And I just don't see any riddles on the board for the Wild. Let's see. Okay, Rangers, Stars. The Stars have these 71 points too. 71, the 20th prime. Okay, there's nothing. $142nd game. The Rangers have 75 wins. The Stars have 44. Let's see, is there anything with the points? Oh, yeah, they could also stay on 33 wins against New York. New York is 33. New York Rangers. Dallas Stars is 27. They have 27 wins and losses coming into this game. Dallas Stars. So the reason to believe in the Rangers here again is staying at 71 points on the 20 date numerology, 71 the 20th prime, staying at 33 wins against New York. Not a home run read, but it's got a little rhyme and reason to it. Let's see. Rangers is 107 as well. That's the 28th prime. The Stars could get their 28th loss against the Rangers. 107, the 28th prime. Okay, Red Wings, Avalanche. Okay. Don't see it with the date. Right. Colorado. Avalanche. College. Yeah. If Colorado lost in overtime, they'd have 69 points. Colorado Avalanche is 69. 125th game. The Red Wings are going for their 67th win. Avalanche is 67. Colorado's at 53 series wins, going for their 54th. Yeah. I don't think there's a good enough read there to have any confidence in it. The one upset hope I would say for Detroit is just if Avalanche stayed at 53 wins on this date, 5-3. But there's nothing great about that to have confidence there. All right, Coyotes can get their 33rd win. Anaheim's 33. Coyotes is 33. The game's on the 33rd parallel, so good team to get the 33rd win against. And that would also give the Ducks their 33rd loss, so it's a good team to get the 33rd loss against. So that's making a lot of sense to me just on the surface. Coyotes look like a good read right here from the beginning. Coyotes. Let's see. 132nd game. Coyotes can get their 53rd win today. On this date, 5-3. The Ducks have 74 all-time wins right now. There's a 74-33 thing. Yeah, Coyotes look good to me here. Let's just run a few more numbers. Arizona Coyotes. They're at 69 points right now. Anaheim Ducks is also 71. They can pick up their 71st points by beating them. On this date with 20 numerology, 71 the 20th prime. Yeah, I like this. We got a lot of reasons here. Coyotes 33. Ducks get their 33rd loss. Anaheim 33. Coyotes get their 33rd win. Anaheim Ducks 71. Coyotes get their 71st points. I like it. Canadiens Kings. So Kings has that Gematria 24 and 33. They're right there right now. I know Canadiens equals 34, so they could get their 34th loss against the Canadiens. First thing that stands out. Canadiens is also 56. They could stay at 56 points by losing to the Canadiens. Montreal Canadiens. Los Angeles Kings. They can stay at 24 losses against the Kings. Kings 24. So this riddle doesn't look bad either here. I did the wrong thing. $147th game. Canadians have 91 wins. The Kings have 35, and they can stay there on this date that looks a bit like 3-5. So, yeah, I think that's a pretty decent read as well. And hold on. I just want to come back here and check one more thing. Wasn't that game? Which game was it? This game? Where was the game with the 33-70 thing, 74 thing? I don't think it was this game. Who just had that 33-74 pattern? Oh, it was this game. Okay, so let's review NHL. I think we came up with some good games. Hurricanes, Bruins. There's nothing great here. Blue Jackets, Devils. I think this game's dangerous as well. Senators, Islanders. A little risky here, but I'm thinking that 39th loss for the Senators in New York, the land of 39, is most likely. Islanders would get their 38th win at home. Islanders is 38. The only reason it's risky is that Islanders is 38. They could stay at 38 losses, but I'm thinking, New York 39, it's usually right there. Panthers, Penguins, it's another game I'm not crazy about. The best riddle's not a very good one. It's probably the Penguins picking up their 35th win on the date that looks like 35, 3-5, but I'd probably just skip that one. Lightning, they can get their 47th series win on the 47 date in Tampa Bay 47. That's probably pretty good to go. Probably not a great payout, but probably a pretty quality pick. Wild Predators. Now, Minnesota does equal 38. They just got their 38th win over Minnesota. Nashville, where the game is, equals 39. Nashville Predators is 83. They can pick up their 83rd points. And if the Predators do win, it keeps the Wild at 33 wins in the 74th series match. How 33 and 74 come together. It also keeps the Wild at 71 points on the 20-date numerology. 71, the 20th prime number. So I think the Predators might be a decent pick. I think if you put down picks on these games that are, well, here we have some stronger ones ahead, but I think if you go with the few so far that we've looked at, you're going to win at least 2 of those 3 games. Rangers, Stars. New York equals 33, and Rangers equals 107, the 28th prime. Stars could be 38, 33, and 28 if they lose to the Rangers. That would keep them at 71 points on the 20-date numerology. So again, so far these games that we've talked about, they're okay picks. We still got some better ones ahead here. Avalanche, Red Wings is a stay-away game to me. There's a chance at a Red Wings upset. I'm kind of sniffing that Red Wings upset, but there's not enough there to have confidence in it. So a little dangerous. But this looks good. Anaheim equals 33. Coyotes get their 33rd win. Coyotes equals 33. Ducks get their 33rd loss. Anaheim Ducks equals 71. Coyotes get their 71st points. I like that. And Canadians Kings. Canadians equals 34. Kings get the 34th loss. Kings equals 24. Canadians stay at 24 losses. Canadians also sums to 56. So if the Kings lose, they stay at 56 points. So I think these are 2 of the better riddles here. Coyotes, it's probably got the best riddle of the day. Canadians look good. Tampa Bay looks good. Those are probably the 3 best picks in the NHL, if you ask me. Coyotes, Canadians, Tampa Bay. And then the next tier of decent picks is the Islanders to win, the Rangers to win, and the Predators to win. So I got to imagine worst case scenario, we go 4 out of 6 in those games. Probably better. Probably better. Maybe even potentially a 6-0. So the riddles are there. And just the reason I was saying that about the Red Wings and Avalanche, it was because one of those teams was at 53 series wins. I believe it was the Avalanche. And yeah, it's the Avalanche. I'm just wondering if maybe they stay at 53 on this date, this date that looks like 53, 5/3. There's nothing really else to go off of. So Red Wings haven't won for a long time. That's the other thing about the Red Wings. They have not won for a long time. Just feel like they're due for a win. So if you're feeling lucky today, that might look at what the payout is there. Or if you can take a puck line or something, could happen. All right, and then let's review NBA and college basketball. College basketball seemed to have some good ones today. Whoops. Pacers, I think they're the best pick in the NBA today. The reason why is 47 date numerology. Indiana equals 47. Perfect for the Bulls to get lost 47. Magic 76ers, risky game. Magic could get the 20th loss on a 20 date, but again, the problem is Magic equals 24. 76ers could pick up that 24th loss and stay at 24 home wins. So nervous about that. Rockets, the riddle they have in this game is in the series record. But looking at the immediate record, Raptors get the 47th win on the 47 date. Rockets equals 28. They get their 28th home win over the Rockets. I got to favor the Raptors. Little bit anxious about it just because the Rockets do have the series riddle in their favor, but the immediate season record's been trumping series records again and again. Grizzlies Trailblazers, another dangerous game. But Memphis Grizzlies 97, the 25th prime. We've seen 25s awarded to the win and loss column throughout the season from the Grizzlies. This is the Blazers' last game of their 7-game road trip. If they lose, they'll be 5-2 on the road trip, 5 wins, 2 losses. With a loss tonight, Tennessee equals 52. But again, it's 5/3, kind of like 53. It's the 16th prime. Trailblazers 53. Grizzlies could get the 16th home win over the Trailblazers, or the Trailblazers could even it at 16-16. So buyer beware. Grizzlies have a decent shot, though, to get that win. Thunder, Timberwolves. Timberwolves lose. They stay at 20 wins on the 20 date. Thunder could also potentially get that 16th loss like we just talked about. Timberwolves could also get the 35th loss on the date that looks a bit like 3-5. I'm not crazy about this game. Another number we've seen associated with the Timberwolves this year is 24. Wolves, like they wear on their jersey, equals 24. If the Thunder did win, they'd stay at 24 losses, and the Timberwolves would stay at 20 wins on the 20 date. I'd say I favor the Thunder here, but again, I'm not crazy about this game. And then in Celtics Warriors, if I had to bet on this game, I'd take the Celtics with the points. The reason why is because Warriors can get the 20th loss on the 20 date. They can become 23-9 at home, 23 the 9th prime number. That would give the Celtics their 15th win. Today has the 47 date numerology, the 15th prime. It's also the 5th of the month. 15 is the 5th triangular. And that would keep them at 16 losses on this date that also has the 5-3, 53, 16th prime connection. So I'd take the points on the Celtics, but the only game that will surprise me in the NBA is if the Bulls won, and I do not think that's going to happen. The 47 goes with Indiana and the date. College basketball. Duke should get it done. Michigan State getting that 15th win, making Nebraska 15-15. Big numbers today. Virginia Tech, Florida State, very dangerous. Virginia Tech does equal 125. Do they become 12-5 in the ACC, or does Florida State? Dangerous. Buffalo likely picks up the 15th win in their conference and gives Ohio their 12th loss. Bulls equals 12. They're the Buffalo Bulls. Bulls 12. Perfect team to get the 12th loss against. And Ohio's only prayer is staying at 15. But if I remember right, Buffalo's also going for their 15th all-time win in this series. So Buffalo looks good there. North Carolina getting 15. Very, very likely. Boston College, 12th loss. Carolina, 37, the 12th prime. Purdue equals 31. That's the 11th prime. Minnesota likely gets their 11th loss in the Big Ten. Minnesota, they are the Golden Gophers. Golden Gophers equals 53, the 16th prime. Purdue can get the 16th win in the Big Ten over the Golden Gophers. They'd be 16-3, like 163, the 38th prime. Minnesota 38. So I favor Purdue there. Mississippi State, Tennessee. Mississippi State's full nickname is 98. They can fall to 9-8 in the SEC. Tennessee can get the 15th win. Again, Tennessee 47, the 15th prime. Great day for win number 15 for Tennessee. Ole Miss and Kentucky sum to 43, the 14th prime. Kentucky can get their 14th win in the SEC. The only hope for Ole Miss is to get that 20th win on the 20-date numerology. But I'm thinking because both teams have the 43 connection, the 14th prime, that's a good sign for Kentucky to get 14 in the conference. Kansas State, Oklahoma. Kansas Jayhawks equals 37. That's the 12th prime number. Notice Oklahoma can get the 12th loss in the Big 12. Kansas can get the 12th win. I do favor that. And Nevada Air Force. Air Force's prayer is to stay at 15, but they're facing the Wolfpack. Wolfpack 53, the 16th prime. Probably get that 16th loss. Air Force Falcons equals 89. They can fall to 8-9 in the Mountain West. So I think we got some good reads in college basketball. Unfortunately, some of them are big spreads, but some are decent spreads, and the narratives look good. So that's it. Hockey, we got 3 really good games plus 3 decent games. I think all 6 are probably worth a pick. NBA, we got 1 very safe game. And then college basketball, a number of good games too. So I think we can have a very good day today. I'm planning on coming back and feeling good about today, tomorrow. Let's wrap it up here. Appreciate all you guys. Be back at the same time tomorrow. Again, we do the same thing Monday through Saturday. And good luck to everyone. Till next time, Truth Seeker.